We're here with the magnificent, the unprecedented. Please state your name.
Oh. I was just like, I just wonder how many more things he's gonna say. I'm Seeglass. Hello. Hi.
I'm so glad that you were able to join us today.
Dude, I'm excited you asked me to be. This is super cool.
Well, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
So you are Seeglass, affectionately
Mhm.
known by the rest of us as Bert or Bad Bob,
Mhm.
as you are in my contact list. So
Am I really?
yeah, of
That's so
course
funny.
you're Bad
I get
Bob on my phone.
you're
Sarah,
uh you're
Sarah,
Metal Johnny.
Sarah came in the other day and she goes, "Who's Bad Bob?"
Dude. It's so funny because sometimes people will take my brother's phone because my brother and my mom both call me Bob. And so like I'll call them and my brother will just hand the phone to random people and they don't know that I go by Bob. And so they answer the phone really like defensively. They're like, hello? I'm like, yeah, what up? Like it organically gets really awkward from that. So yeah, sorry. Still
No,
like continue.
this is exactly what we're doing.
Really cool.
You are exactly fulfilling the role that I've asked you to come and play
As Bad Bob.
as Bad Bob
Good.
or Bert or
Or
Stinky
Bert.
Bert as
Bert's just so much better, you know? It's just it just feels good, you know? Like like Johnny, like once you get called like anything else, you're like, I don't know about it.
yeah, it's all right.
Hmm.
So, Bert, where do you stream?
Like, okay, well that's a very good question. I stream from Southern California, but more specifically, I have my own little like room that I designate to streaming. So like it's really cool because my brother moved out. There's an empty room, and I'm like, cool, Mazel tov, let's get on this. And so it was just like a really rickety table at first, and then like way back in the day, it would be like there was no lights, there was nothing. It was like I was really dimly lit. I had no like key light, no like ambient light in the back, so it was just like this weird mustache dude playing in the dark.
With a
And then
partial
like
afro?
with the partial afro, yeah, dude. And like that was before my mustache went up and then it went down. So I had like this weird like Walter Cronkite like like broom handle for a mustache. And then like slowly things started like that couch was new, and then that my blankie from South Africa was new, and then there's my grandparents right there, and it organically started coming together now, and it feels really warm and safe space. It's it's really cool in here. I
I
have a
love it.
globe. Dude, check this out. Okay, so my first no, like my second follower, he was from Serbia. And he was like, "You know where Serbia is?" And I don't know how to read and I'm not very good at maps. And I was like, "Yeah, dude, of course I know. It's like up in Russia. It's like, like the Serbian tigers and, like the gulag and stuff like that. But there's another place called Siberia, totally different places."
Indeed,
Yeah.
there is.
So I went out. Oh, and I got this globe. So now when people are like, "I'm from here," I'm like, "Dude, let's find you." So, so now try to hide. Can't. I'll know where you're at. I've got a globe.
Well, that was an even better answer than what I was hoping for.
Really?
I meant to ask you which platform do you stream on, but
Wait, for real?
yeah, like where do you stream? Bert streams on Twitch, and I'm sure most of you know that Bert is Seeglass on Twitch. And Bert, you've been streaming for quite some time now. I know that you know the exact date because we've talked about this
Yeah.
many times. But we will get to that. So you've been streaming for what, about 2.5 years?
It was November 2nd, 2 years ago. So it's been 2 years and a month and some change.
Wow, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
while.
A long time, right? It doesn't feel like it. I guess it feels kind of like 2020. It feels like it was forever ago, and then it feels like it was like last week. Like I still remember my first stream, and I still remember like how excited I was, and I was like, it was so shoddy and put together that I didn't really like know. I mean, I still don't know what I was doing, but I really didn't know what I was doing back then. And it's crazy to see how I did things back then. It was weird. I was a weird dude. I don't know how any of you guys followed me back then. I feel better
Uh,
now.
yeah, I think it was just like it was the positivity and the wholesomeness
That's what it
that
is.
kind of sucked me in. I was
Yeah.
just kind of perusing, and I was like, oh, there's a Fortnite guy with like
Yeah.
2 people watching. He'll talk to me.
Oh yeah. I think I remember where I was. I was at that. the pirate ship place. What was the pirate ship place in Fortnite?
Valhalla.
Lazy Lagoon, I think. And you came in, and I was like, "This is Johnny." No, back then you were J Deem,
I was JD.
right?
I
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I was like, "Dang, God, that feels like forever ago too."
That is forever ago.
That is, dude. You know what's crazy is I said back in the day for the first time, and like I meant it because it was like 20 years ago, and like it's weird to be like old enough to say back in the day without sounding like weird and like silly. But like it was back in the day. It was back in the day when you were pre Johnny Dingo.
Pre Johnny Dingo. That is a while ago.
Mm-hmm. I like you. I liked Johnny Dingo. Like I think you branded really well.
Shucks.
Dude, I can't believe I got the first question wrong. I'm thinking about that. I can't
Well,
even read, and like you audioed me the first question, and I got that wrong still.
You didn't get it wrong. I think you improved upon it. Actually, you
Oh, okay,
you
cool.
improvised. Like we were playing jazz, and I gave you a couple
Yeah.
bars,
Yeah.
and you're just like, well, I'm just gonna do whatever I want with this. I was like,
Yeah.
great, yeah, that sounds awesome.
I think it was more of like here's a little handoff, and I'm like 30-minute guitar solo, and you're like, not what I meant, but I mean, I'm stoked we're here.
So, so Bert, what's your first memory of video games? What's the first game you ever played?
Dude, first game I ever played was Power Rangers on Sega Genesis. I think I was
Wow.
like, yeah, old. I think I was like, I had to been like 4 or 5. I remember playing Power Rangers with my mom, and we played Power Rangers. We also played, that was like when Aladdin just came out. So we were playing the Aladdin video game, we were playing the Lion King video game, and then like Acrobat came out a little later. So I played that, and then that organically went to like Nintendo 64. And oh, there's, GoldenEye, and then there's Mario Kart, and I was like so excited to play it. I played the hell out of Mario Kart and GoldenEye. It was the best. I never to this day I've never finished GoldenEye because I've only gotten like to the first 3 levels, and then I'd put the cheats on, like the big head cheat or the paintball cheat, and just goof around with that. So I don't think I've ever finished GoldenEye.
Temple is very hard to finish.
It's so hard, dude.
There's
and
like
the jungle one sucks ass.
Oh, the jungle one was rough.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one too.
Mm-hmm. And then my favorite one was the I think it was like the second mission when you're at like the dam or something like that, and you can alert the alarm, and the guys just keep coming and coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, screw the mission. Let's just fight everything. Let's fight Russia. So I fought Russia for 3 years or 4 years, and then Star Fox and all that other cool. There's so many good Nintendo 64 games.
And that's the predecessor to farming raiders.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same principle.
Yeah, I still get killed. Still get outnumbered. They get me. Like a mighty Roman emperor. Yeah, that's probably the first game. I miss Sega. I never was into like I was never the Nintendo. What's the one with Mario? And then Super Nintendo. I was never into that. But Sega's my guy.
Well, see, Super Nintendo is actually where I played the Aladdin game.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, you were East. I was West Side. You were Sharks. I was the Jets.
How do you like that? Do I do it like that?
Yeah.
One of them. Pick one.
Wait, how come you get to be? Wait, are you East or West?
What do you mean?
That was an East. That was an E.
Well, I mean, you said that I was East and you were West, so then I just threw up the E.
Okay, I was confused because I was like, never mind.
I'm confused too because I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Dude, this is how I was like really excited because I was like, do you watch? Johnny and I are just gonna like start on a conversation, and then we're just gonna giggle at each other, and I'm really excited that we're giggling.
It's kind of awesome. This reminds me of Irvine.
Dude, it does.
But
remember?
Yeah, go ahead. No,
you go first.
Okay, what's the first game that really got you hooked though, to the point where you're like, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go to bed, I don't want to take a shower.
The one that I would think stuck out the most would be Halo 2, because that was right when Xbox Live came out, and it was like as soon as Xbox Live was a thing, I was hooked. I was all into it. I sucked at it, and I did the noob combo, with the plasma pistol, and you would switch to your battle rifle, and you just one tap people. That was my jazz. And
break the shield, walk away.
Break the shield, walk away, and then that was really, really fun. And I remember we would stay up like all night with this kid down the street. His name was David Hillen, and his parents they were pretty wealthy, and they could afford Xbox Live, and I couldn't. So I'd go down there and I'd be like, "Hey, friend," and I totally used him for his Xbox Live. He was an okay dude. but his Xbox and his parents made insane bacon. It was so good. So we did that for an entire summer, and I remember that was like the thing. It wasn't like anything else but Halo 2 and like multiplayer and like was it big team battle and things like that. That would be the game that I would say like really hooked me. And then after that was Final Fantasy 11. I played with the hell out of that one. I actually just stopped playing it like was it like 18 years later. I just now deleted my account, which is pretty crazy to think.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It came out in like 2001, I think.
That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
So
we're making good progress.
Are we really cool?
Yeah,
I was
we've gotten
worried that I'd go,
through
like,
2
on
questions
tangents.
so far.
Oh, so you were being sarcastical.
Well, a little bit. I think we're making great progress in terms of making great content of getting to know the real Seeglass.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm having a great time. We're having
you?
an excellent conversation. Yeah.
Okay. I was telling Sarah the other day. I was like, I don't really like talking about myself, so like, I was like, I'm gonna try really hard not to pivot or ramble, and I feel like I'm doing okay.
You're doing great.
All right.
You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. It is
Sweet.
happening the way it's supposed to happen. The way
Is
it
it?
was
I love
always going to
Yeah.
happen.
That organic thing. Couldn't think of another word.
Yeah. I mean,
Blank.
and just to tag on to that, how organic that was. You know, what made you want to be a content creator?
Dude, I remember I was in my kitchen, right? And I was like on my phone or something like that, or I was talking to somebody on Discord because when I would play Final Fantasy, we'd all be on Discord. And I was like, you know what? Like this ninja character can do it, you know, and this Tim the Tatman feller can do it, you know, like why can't, you know, some average dude like me do it? And I was like, you know what? Like, because video games growing up, my best friend growing up was 11 years older than me, and I met him on I met him on Conker's Bad Fur Day. Because Conker's Bad Fur Day was actually on the Xbox. You could play online. It was so much fun, and I met him on that. And he was 11 years older than me. He still is, and he lives in North Carolina. And we would just like our friendship just like organically just became like, you know, he was like, I'm the oldest kid, so he was like my big brother kind of thing. And it just became like this thing where I just couldn't get enough. You know, we'd always game together. You know, I talked to him. I talk to him almost every single day. We talk about anime all the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, like he was so influential in my um character development in life. You know, me growing up as a person. You know, I thought he was the coolest dude. He was one of those guys where he just didn't care about what people thought about him. If he thought it was funny and he thought that he was going to enjoy it, he'd do it. Like when I went to go visit him in North Carolina, he picked me up wearing a sombrero, and I had a sign that said, back then my gamer tag was Deadly Velocity. So it was weird. This weirdo dude had a sombrero with a sign that says Deadly Velocity, and nobody but me would know that he was looking for me. And I was like, hey, here I am. And he goes, there you are. And we hugged. And then later that night, he got me a sombrero. We went to a thrift store and we got trench coats, and we ran into a cornfield and we stole corn. And it was just like goofy, organic, like friendship. And I loved every second of it. And I wanted to give somebody that experience that his name is X, that X gave to me. And, you know, if I could be like somebody who somebody would like look up to, or, you know, enjoy their friendship, or have this, you know, connection with somebody online and never ever meet them, like I would want to give back to other people that X gave to me. And that's, I guess that's really what made me want to be a content creator and a streamer, is to just kind of link bridges and connect people to other really rad people across the world and the states. And I think we've done a pretty good job so far. You know, we definitely have a cool little friend group, you know. Like
That's a fantastic story. That is
Thanks.
That is a wild story.
Isn't it cool? Dude, we went later that, because I stayed there. It was so crazy too, because I flew out right as soon as my grandpa, he suffered a heart attack and he was in the hospital, and we, you know, eventually it ended up, he ended up passing from it. And I left, I think it was like the day after he had passed. And so I was really sad. I didn't even know if I wanted to go. And he was like, you know, you feel like you don't have to come. If it's perfectly fine, you know, if you want to come, you know, we'll make it a thing. And you know, I ended up going, and it was probably one of the best things for me at the time, because my grandpa was he still is really, really big in my upbringing, and he's my hero. And so we went there, and it was really, really spiritually healing to have like a safe space to like, be sad, be happy, and things like that. And we ended up, he lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we ended up dressing up as Mario and Luigi, and we had the mustaches. This is back before I had a mustache, so I had to put a fake one on my nose. And we ran through North Carolina. Um, and whenever there would be like a crosswalk, we would like jump on we'd pretend it was the bricks. And so we'd go bling, bling, bling across the crosswalks. And nobody knew what we were doing. They probably thought we were on drugs because we were just giggling and laughing and hitting imaginary boxes and growing from mushrooms. It was really, really cool. Dude, I totally forgot the question.
You've answered it. You explained what made you want to be a content creator.
We got here. I was like, I stopped the sentence and I'm like, wait, what? I was like, where did we go from here? I forgot. How did I get? It's like, like sometimes when you wake up, you're like, or like, when you're driving and you're like, whoa, where am I? Like, how did
I
I
could
get
have
here?
killed someone. How did I get home?
Dude, it's so scary. I realized yesterday how bad of a driver I am because I almost got in an accident. And I was like, oh gosh, yeah, I probably shouldn't be doing this. But I drive all the time for work. And so it's a blessing and a curse to be that bad at driving. But yeah, no, he's a super cool guy. I talked to X every day of my life, and he actually ended up getting married next year, and he wants me to be a groomsman.
Oh, that's
which
awesome.
is really, really cool. Yeah,
that's awesome. You'll have to tell him that story and be like, hey, I've been making friends with a bunch of nerds on the internet because of you.
Yeah, no, yeah. I wonder. I don't think I've ever told him that I even stream. For whatever reason, it just never came up. I think he'd really like that, because he's just a really like, he's one of those people that's like, tell me about your day. And like, instead of be like, oh yeah, it was good, he goes, no, like, tell me about it. And I think he'd really appreciate that. I don't think I've ever mentioned it.
You should.
So yeah, I should. Talking about One Piece right now, him and I. And then the new Attack on Titan season came out, so we're talking about that. We just kind of giggle and laugh at each other. So
that sounds like definitely a lifelong friend that you made over the internet, which is like,
yeah,
it's more and more common now. But I remember years and years ago when Xbox Live was kind of first a thing, and parents, I think more than just mine, were like, you can't talk to people, you can't tell people your real name, you can't tell people where you live, don't say anything that's not related to the game. But like, there's a lot of good people in the world. There's definitely bad people, and that probably gave people a reason to be worried about letting their children connect with strangers on the internet. But look at us now; everything is connected on the internet.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think too, like the fact that the internet's been so like relevant in everybody's day-to-day life that people can kind of like gauge it. They're like, oh yeah, no, this dude's probably shady. Like this Nigerian prince says he's gonna give me some money. I don't know about that one. But yeah, dude, my grandma used to think that X was like this creepo dude. And it used to be the running joke. We used to love giving my grandma a hard time about everything. And so when she was like, oh yeah, I don't know about this X biggity guy. And so we would intentionally just push her buttons. She was so much fun. She's so cool. Yeah, no, the internet's definitely a beautiful thing. And I think the more people like interact with it and the more people interact with others, I think they realize like how similar everybody is to each other. There's really no like dividing grid or dividing factor that's like, oh, it's us versus them. People are just the same. People just want the same things in life, and
there's just confusion about how that works.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah. I think I can agree with that. Yeah, I think we are all really at the core the same. There's just some confusion on how to make things the best for everybody. And some people need to be educated, and some people need to calm down. But that's as different as we get.
Yeah.
So Bert, we touched on this earlier. You mentioned that you already told me your go live date, which was November 2nd of 2018. But yes. That first day when you were just about to press it, what was going through your head? Were you nervous? Were you really excited? What were you thinking?
I wasn't nervous per se because I had just graduated college, right, with a degree in broadcasting journalism. So I had been on the news. I had been in front of a camera. I had, relatively pretty extensive like um, familiarity with being in front of the camera and being live and stuff like that. The thing I was worried the most about was just not being good at video games because I thought there was like that stigma where like if you're not cracked, people don't watch you. And I quickly learned that that's the complete opposite of what people I think really enjoy in content creation. And so I was pretty nervous. Especially it's always intimidating when you see the 0 viewers on your Twitch thing. And so I went in with the mentality that like I'm going to use Twitch as basically free media to make YouTube videos. So for the first like week and a half, uh, when I was streaming as if I was making YouTube videos. Like, all right, guys, so we're gonna try to do this and that. I'm not very good at Fortnite. We're gonna try to get a kill. Let's see if this noob can survive the second circle and things like that. And I didn't survive anything, dude. I was so bad at the video game, and I wouldn't say I was nervous. I would be more excited, and I'd have a little bit more jitters and that too. And that was my first time ever really playing PC games. Before then, I had strictly been console, so I really learned mouse and keyboard while learning how to stream. And I
That's
think,
awesome.
yeah, it was super cool. And I think because I was trying to learn two different things at once, that kind of like kept me from kind of getting in my own head in terms of like, oh, like how's the stream doing? I was just trying to like, which one's walk again? How do I get my finger up to the 1 or the 2? And they kind of like balance each other out, and it organically it felt more normal. And now it feels weird to not play video games while being live. Like it's so, you do it for so long, you're like, oh man, I really could be live right now. And then
That's awesome.
you start getting addicted to being live. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd say no more nervous than driving at night. So pretty normal because I suck. I'm so bad at driving.
that's that's awesome. So you really learned both how to play keyboard and mouse and how to stream live.
Yeah.
You said, fuck it, we're doing it live.
Yeah, just what? Let's screw it. Like it's not like I could be any worse. Well, because I was under the impression that people only watched other streamers on Twitch if they played on mouse and keyboard. So like had I known what I know now, I don't even know if I'd switch over to mouse and keyboard. I think I would have been on controller. Because that's
Really?
I mean I had played it. I'd been on a controller literally since I was 4, Sega, Nintendo, Xbox 360, all that stuff. And never really touched the mouse and keyboard. I didn't really know how people I didn't even know how people would hit the 1, 2, and 3, 4 buttons above the WASD. And I was like, you know what? Like I think if I play on mouse and keyboard, I'll have like an edge on people coming to watch the channel. And it's not. It's completely false. But yeah, so I learned mouse and keyboard under the impression that mouse and keyboard is what people on Twitch would watch, which is kind of crazy. Yeah,
That's very interesting.
isn't it goofy? Now I couldn't. I don't even think I can pick up a controller.
Yeah, I don't see you going back to. I don't see you going back
Mhm.
to controller because
It's so nice being
I mean,
on mouse and keyboard.
especially thinking Fortnite, because I mean, and I have kind of this is a bit different because I know you as much as you can really from watching
Sure.
someone on Twitch. So I mean,
Yeah.
because I've been watching you for ages, so
Mhm.
seeing your progression on mouse and keyboard, I don't see you going back anyway because you've gotten, especially Fortnite wise, very good at it.
Yeah.
I have tried a couple of times to like learn how to build and run around and do things in Fortnite with keyboard and mouse, and I just can't be asked to do that.
It's tricky. I guess it would be finding the right keybinds. I don't think like dude, Fortnite's just such a wild animal. There's so many buttons you have to press.
And
Just thinking
I've
about the other
seen
day.
even people do that thing where they have multiple different buttons that work for editing. So
Mhm.
depending on what position they're in, they can just grab the nearest one.
Yeah.
That's too much. That's
I've seen people yeah, dude. I've seen people like play their
That's
left
ultra
hand is on
nerds.
mouse and keyboard, their right is on controller. I've seen people do that before too, which is totally crazy.
huh.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Weird.
Mhm.
Uh, so aside from learning, mouse and keyboard live while learning also how to stream, what are some challenges that you've faced as a streamer, stroke creator?
Sure.
Or has there been any real big challenge that you've had to overcome?
No, sure. Yeah, there's definitely been challenges. I think the biggest one, I think the thing that always would kind of affect me the most would be there's not at anybody in particular, but some days, you just have like kind of a bad day and you're like, I'm just going to stream. And then, it doesn't really go the way you think it's going to go. So you end the stream and then you just feel like a little bit more worse than when you started and kind of things like that. I think the biggest thing would be um, a lot of like negative, um, sometimes you just end the stream and you're just like, I feel a little bit more worse than when I started, kind of thing. I think it would be giving too much energy to the wrong people would be the biggest challenge, especially in the
Mm,
beginning of the day, or when I first started streaming. There'd be a lot of people, nobody in particular, but sometimes people would like hit me up for money. They'd be like, hey, like I'm not really doing very good financially. Like, could you, float me a couple of bucks and things like that? And then, not knowing any better, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll give you a little bit of this, and you never hear from them again. That happened a little bit in the beginning of the stream. And
wild.
yeah, isn't it crazy? It's crazy what people will say. And I guess it would just be um what's the best way to put this is it would be I'm trying to think of how I would phrase this correctly. Give me all your money. No, I think it's people
We
just
can
taking
people
too
taking.
much. Yeah, whether your emotional value, or your actual money. People just say some really mean things sometimes, and sometimes it gets to you. But that would be, and that's the worst days possible, and they're very few and far in between. But sometimes it does happen, and those are the days where I'm like, dude, I get really down. But very, 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 very rarely, and it happens less now. When I first started, I think because I was streaming like Fortnite, and because I was getting like the kids that would come in and they would say like, terrible, terrible things, and it would kind of get me down. But it was just proves that people, kids suck.
I mean,
So
it's like Tom Segura said, some people suck.
some people suck, dude. And
That's right,
it
I
and it
forgot.
took
Some
me,
people suck.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, just but like the more you do it, the more you can kind of gauge people,
Yeah,
even like without seeing their face or knowing who they are. You can kind of read them a little bit better. You're like, okay, this person's probably up to no good, or this person's got ill intentions and things like that. But
I think this would be a good spot to point that out, or really emphasize what you're saying, especially for new streamers, because a lot of
mhm,
our friends are new-ish or want to start streaming,
yeah,
and I think that'd be a good piece of advice for newer content creators to try to learn how to brush that stuff off, because it
sure.
can get to you. I've had this similar thing, and it kind of it can get to you, but
Hmm.
the people that love you and want to see you succeed far outweigh like the one troll that comes in per month,
Hmm.
and just don't give your energy to those people.
100%. And I think, and you touched on a really good point too. And Rat Maddie touched on it as well. The entitlement can be exhausting. It's so tiring. And like you say, a lot of our friends are just now starting to stream. And the thing that would always, the biggest challenge would be when you're starting and you have, when the numbers really, like, the viewer count is what's really um, crazy. That 4 or 5 viewer, that fifth viewer can, it's so important as to starting streamers. I guess the misconception is that viewers like, I have to get the most viewers possible, and to do so, you would kind of jeopardize maybe your integrity, or you would jeopardize how you would do things in order to keep that viewer in chat.
Sure.
Because I know I'm guilty of it too. There'd be sometimes just weirdo people, or they're just blatantly rude and things like that, and I'm like, oh, just blah blah blah. Like they're just goofing, and I wouldn't reprimand them in order to keep them in chat, because I thought that that extra viewer really mattered. And now it's just like I could have one viewer, and if the second viewer is an a-hole, you're out of here. And giving my energy to people that don't deserve it is like Maddie says, like it's really exhausting.
Definitely.
So that'd probably be the biggest challenge.
Yeah, and actually that really lines up with what Alex said when I asked, we will get to this question later, but when I asked Alex, what's the best advice you've ever gotten, and it was the teacher that said, whatever you do, do it
Hmm.
with conviction, and if your
Mm,
conviction is wrong, you'll learn and your opinion will change, but always do it with conviction. So that ties right into the, well, I wouldn't tell people to stop, or stop being weird, or stop being rude, because I wanted them
mm.
to be a viewer.
Yeah.
we don't need those people.
Mhm.
People who don't want to be part of the community can not be part of the community. They can go.
For sure.
That one viewer isn't going to make a difference. It's the community that you build of people who want to be there and want to see you succeed.
Yeah, 100%. And it's kind of embarrassing how long it took me to figure that out.
Same.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know why that's not on every like YouTube tutorial thumbnail. Like, you want to start streaming, this is what you need to know, instead of like, the difference between slobs and OBS kind of thing. I think it needs to be more. I guess that's what you're doing right now too. You're teaching other people that I guess the soul behind streaming instead of like the technical aspect.
We're
That's what's
learning
super
it
cool about
together.
it.
That's we're all learning it together, and I love that
Yeah.
because it takes a village.
But no, for 100%. And like you say, I mean, the community that we've built together has been, it's the coolest. It's the coolest and most special thing ever.
When
I'd die
they
for these
all
guys.
intermingle,
Yeah.
and you've got like, well, I heard about you from this guy and from
Mhm.
this guy, and we all,
Mhm.
it all just intermeshes, and it's
Mhm.
wonderful. Love
Mhm.
it. Well, you can't get rid of us now, nerds.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck with a couple of you, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
So, as we kind of spoke about some of the less favorable parts of streaming. What's one of your favorite memories from streaming? And I have a guess because I think I was there for it, but
Really?
tell me what your favorite one of your favorite. You can pick. Actually, knowing you, why don't you pick 3?
Is this because of the Twitch clip thing and the fact that I can't make up my mind on anything?
No. We'll get to those later.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let you think for a second because I need some more coffee.
Yeah, because this is gonna take me a minute.
Yeah, so why don't you pick 3, and we'll talk about your favorite memories, not your favorite clips. We'll get to the clips later.
Got you. Okay. There's so many other special moments that I think we've had. Meeting Jade. You know what's crazy is I remember the first time where I was when Jade spoke in chat, because I had seen her in the viewer link. I was like, oh, it's Jade93. She seems pretty cool. Because I had seen her there at multiple streams, and I was right outside of what's the farm place in Fortnite? Freaky Farms?
Anarchy
Frosty
Acres?
Farm? No, the other one.
Fatal Fields.
Fatal Fields, yeah. We were right to the left by Grandma's house. You know, the little like
yes,
rock part channel.
Yeah, where it was the little hill above.
Yeah.
Corn.
I was right in between. I was close to that, but right in between that and Fatal Fields when Jade was the first thing she said. I can't remember what it is though. There's no way I would find it. It would take me forever to find.
It would take you an hour to scroll through
it would take
all
me a
of
long
the
time.
messages to get to the first
if
one.
I was to look through Jade's like everything she wrote, it would be forehead. I'm leaving. Ew. I'm forehead. I'm leaving. I hate you guys. You suck, nerd. No, but like there was like 2,000 people in the channel at that time, so I didn't really see your first like interaction until I was right there. Yeah, I guess I guess it would have to be one of the most memorable moments would be when Nick raided me, just because without him, there really wouldn't be there would still be, I mean, like Blue and Completers and you and stuff like that, but there wouldn't be, we would have found BA, we never would have found Scratch, Alex, Jade, Beth, Evo, Comic. And it's kind of crazy to think that one interaction with one other person led to this like cataclysm of friendship, and Sarah Kate and Hannah, yeah, and Perry,
Bevo,
Eves, Phila. It's kind of crazy to think how just one night with like if we hadn't streamed, or if the raid hadn't gone through, where our paths would be, because we never would have met BA. And I really cannot think of a life without without BA in it, which is kind of cool, because he's such a good dude.
He is.
Dude, I guess, but if I have to answer your question, I guess one of the most memorable moments would be when the Nick raided me, and it would also be when it's so stupid, but I guess my first Fortnite win, because I was so excited that I did it on stream.
That's awesome.
It was one of those like, I did it, like, come look, guys, look at, we did it kind of
Ma,
thing.
get the camera.
Yeah, Ma, get the camera. And then there's, you know what, like it's so hard to pick favorites in terms of that. You know, I guess there's a bunch of little small moments and memories that really make the bigger picture. I guess it would be more like a mosaic of like just different shit.
Oh, that
That
is wholesome as hell.
yeah, you know, because there's so many. I mean, that's the thing. There's so many good memories that I have with all of y'all. You know, and like if I hadn't started streaming, you and I never would have met up at Irvine and had that great dinner. And
It's very true.
you know, yeah. Okay, so what do you think my memory was?
Oh, I
'Cause
was I was I was gonna say the Nick raid,
oh,
because
okay,
that
yeah,
was huge. That was
it
absolutely
was cool.
wild.
Yeah, it was cool.
I was like
Um,
watching you on mobile working, and then like I don't know, I had to do something else. Came back
yeah,
a couple hours later, and it said there were like several thousand people
yeah,
watching
it's been a
you,
while.
and I was like, "What just happened?"
I was also never a big of a bot as I was that night. I think I'd streamed like until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I think I maybe got like 4 kills in like that 7 hour stream. I was so nervous. I was mostly just talking. But yeah, I would say accumulation of just small moments with all of y'all that make it to a bigger picture.
I like
Um,
the mosaic
yeah,
of happy memories from streaming.
yeah,
That's really adorable, and that's
yeah.
totally Bert.
Thanks. Especially because I was like, oh shit, a memory, and I couldn't think of just one, and so I would have to say a bunch of little ones. Like I loved when we played Tarkov, and there were two. Remember when we first started playing all the team kills we had?
Mm-hmm.
That would probably
Remember
be
remember why we
hmm?
call it Murder Hill?
Yeah.
We started up there, started up there on that hill, had no idea what we were doing, kind of like sitting, looking around,
Yeah.
waiting, and then just get plowed by a couple of
Yeah.
dudes that ran from the other side.
Dude, it was like the comms were like, you know, like it was like this patchy like radio comms in like Vietnam. They're like, oh my god, they're everywhere, we're being overrun. Just shoot fire in all directions and shit. Dude. Oh my god, that was so much fun learning to play with you guys. Yeah. That's it. My favorite thing is when VA is like he's focused, but he doesn't want to like stop talking in chat, so he like sings. He like sing talks. That's my favorite thing to do. He does it a lot in Fortnite. So like whenever he watches Fortnite, I'm like, oh, and he goes, and here I am, I'm building and I'm jumping, and he goes, what the f? he gets like focused. It's so fun.
I
Ah,
I like the singing as well. He does
yeah.
that in. I've seen him do it on Tarkov when like I'll be dead, so I'll
Uh-huh.
go and watch BA like finish out the raid, and he'll do it. He does that. And I'm like, this is what he's doing when he's not talking to us.
Dude, I
Any
could
tips
totally
on
see
glowing
that.
on growing a glorious mustache?
Stare into the sun.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's honestly, dude, the beginning like sucks. It's gonna grow really thin and patchy. You just gotta stick with it. Like I remember when I went to my barber for the first time and I was like, yo, what do you think? Like I think I have the potential to grow a mustache. You know, should I what's tips? And he goes, screw it, just let it grow. You know, it's gonna be ugly for a long time and then one day it's not. And it took a minute for sure to get it to where it's at now. I couldn't imagine what my I don't dude, I've had a mustache for so long I couldn't even imagine what my upper lip looks like.
Alex, I've been trying to do it for years as well. Look at this. Look at this. I haven't shaved in like
Mm-hmm.
29 days.
It's yeah.
Baby smooth.
But also it's like really nice. This way you never have to like because if I don't like shave things, it gets patchy and weird. And I grow my hair weird. I have weird hair. Yeah,
Weird
I'd say
beard.
just beard oil, you know.
Beard oil. Okay.
Yeah, beard oil is definitely a trick. You gotta put a bunch of nutrients in the skin.
Hmm. Yeah, because you don't want it to be dry, or else the
Mm-hmm.
follicles dry out, and they don't want to.
Exactly.
They don't want to
That's
produce.
exactly it.
They just curl back underneath, and then you're like,
Yep.
oh, God damn it,
Yep.
get me out of
Like,
there.
great. Yeah. So after your shower, when your pores are a little more open, beard oil. Trick.
Okay.
For real.
Not canola, but beard oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
there's also there's this one thing I use. I forget what it's called, but it's like essential oils and it's got like lavender and a bunch of other really cool like plant-based things, and it smells delicious. I've been using that lately.
Vegetable oil.
Yeah, just vegetable oil. Just Crisco, right on the old
Just
melon.
lather it up.
Yeah, man. Just sit in the sun for a little bit. Yeah, slap some Crisco on there. That's right, dude. Dude, I'm having fun. Thanks for asking me to do this.
I'm having a wonderful time as well.
I'm also glad I'm third, right? I'm the third one.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. I'm glad to see the first two go really well, and then this one.
So Mr. Seeglass, or Bert, can I call you Bert?
Yeah, please do.
Would you like to be a streamer, content creator full time? Would you like to make a career out of it, or do you enjoy doing it as sort of a side hobby project, kind of passion thing?
It's actually a really good question. Because I think naturally everybody wants to say yes, but I think once I've always been a little nervous about making it a full-time thing, because once it's a full-time thing, then it's a job, and I would be worried that the passion that made me want to start this would be kind of like diminished through just that, okay, I have to do this in order to make money, in order to pay the bills and things like that. Obviously, yeah, I would love for it to be a full-time job, but I'm in no hurry for it to get there. So I'm very, very happy to just be on the journey, and if it organically happens one day, that'd be awesome. It's very similar to like with the affiliate. Like I didn't want to be an affiliate until I think we had like some absurd number. I think I said like 3,000 or something, or 2,000. I didn't want affiliate for the longest time, mostly because I just didn't want anybody's money, or I didn't want anything from anybody. I just wanted to have fun and play video games with people. And I think I am taking the same mindset into full-time content creation. Like I would love to just stream video games all day. Working sucks. So I'd much rather
Agreed.
yeah, yeah, I'd much rather subsidize my income while playing video games versus the latter. But until then, it's just more fun to goof off, and it's fun to be like, yo, guys, like I have to work today and tomorrow, but you know what? Friday, I'm gonna be on all day today. I'm gonna DoorDash Chick-fil-A, and we're just gonna stream, just ungodly amount of hours and time, and it gets you excited. I think there needs to be a little like stick and carrot kind of thing.
You say DoorDash Chick-fil-A, but we all know you're getting Chipotle.
I meant to say Chipotle. I was thinking Chipotle. Is that wild?
I know you were thinking Chipotle.
Oh my god! Did I really say Chick-fil-A?
You did, yeah.
Oh my dear lord! Yeah, dude. Why the hell are those two? Have you ever had the peppermint milkshake from Chick-fil-A? No.
Nope.
Well, the receptionist at my work says it's like to die for. But I have like milkshake hours, and I'm always at the gym at my milkshake hours, and so by the time I get done, it's windows closed.
You can't top off a workout with a milkshake. That's counterproductive.
Yeah.
Unless it's one of those like peanut butter protein doesn't taste like a milkshake at all kind of shakes. Then
yeah,
that's kind of just more hating yourself to like make the muscles grow.
Yeah. What's the point? Yeah, dude, it's so crazy. I said Chick-fil-A when I meant Chipotle. I do have milkshake hours between the hours of 7:30 and 8 on the weekdays. And anytime other than that, it's not milkshake time. I can't have a milkshake. So I live a complicated life, Johnny.
That is one of the strangest things I've ever heard someone say.
Really? Dude.
But
I
that's hilarious.
Like, there's so many weird things that I do that I just don't make sense. Like milkshake hours. People have the same reaction. Bert's milkshake brings me to the yard. I respect that, Bethany. Thank you.
I have milkshake hours. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Dude, it's rewarding when you get that window and you get to have a milkshake within milkshake time. It's probably the best feeling in the world. So
I do respect like the discipline. That does show discipline.
That's a very polite way to say that you're crazy.
Well, no, it does show discipline because your reward system, and as a coffee addict, a smoker, an alcoholic, my reward system is all kinds of screwed up. And I think you're almost on the opposite end, where you're like, well, I can only have a milkshake between 7:30 and 8 on weekdays, so if it's not milkshake hours, there's no milkshakes.
There's no milkshakes, dude. Catch you next time.
So I mean, I respect that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, to go back on the question before I went on a tangent. Yeah, I'd love to stream full time. But I'm also in no rush to get there. So until then, it's just fun to enjoy the ride.
What and that makes you so enjoyable to watch, because it's not it's not about you definitely don't make people numbers. You make people like new friends. Come hang out with us.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, because I don't remember if you remember, but I did it. I tried doing full time. Like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make this my job. I think it was like last summer or something like that with Fortnite, and I that was like that, and then on top of like season 9 and 10 was probably like the hardest duration of stream I think I've ever done. And I think because I put it in this box and it was supposed to be this thing and it wasn't this thing, and I was getting upset at myself and how I was creating content, and it wasn't enjoyable. And so I kind of took a step back and realized it, and I was like, you know what, let's just make this fun. Let's go back to why we started streaming, and it was just like to make friends, like you say, to goof off. And
That's great advice.
yeah, yeah. And also, to my favorite dude, I'm gonna tell you this because it's super
Yeah.
fun, but I love like Loki. Like anybody who's been in the chat knows that like I kind of sometimes I like instigate people getting like upset. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. To everybody, I do it to everybody, and it's so much fun, and I love doing it in chat. So
I love it
yeah.
when you do it to Scratch in
dude,
in voice comps when we're trying to like sneak around and do something, and you're just like, you stir the pot, and then it's like, okay guys, we're paying attention now, and then just shit just kind of falls apart.
It's my favorite thing to do in life. And Scratch gets it, and that's why I think it's so much fun to play with it like that. Yeah, dude, I love it. Scratch, I bet you can't desk pop. He goes, oh yeah. As we're like trying to sneak around, trying not to get shot. But you won't throw this grenade at me. It's fun things like that.
Hey, Scratch. Jade says you're bleeding. What?
Yeah.
Pow!
Yeah, dude. It's the best. It's so much fun.
It is fun. Yeah. I hope he knows that we make him our punching bag out of love.
Yeah, it's his birthday today, too.
It is. Yeah. It is. And you know what I haven't done is put a happy birthday Scratch in Discord, so I'm gonna have to do that shortly.
Yeah, I hope he knows that too. I hope he knows that we always just kid out of love and affection.
Well, he's the oldest. He's the oldest, so I think he knows.
Okay, good. He's a fun dude.
He's well, actually, no, you're the oldest, really.
I am. I mean, technically on paper, I am the oldest. Yes.
Right.
Mentally, I think he beats me.
So let's do the review of the clips. Also, I think Joe, I totally agree. I think you can definitely tell when somebody's looking at numbers more than looking at their
for
chat.
Sure. Mm-hmm. And it goes right back to what we mentioned earlier. This dude's like, oh, well, he just kind of puts up with people just so they're like, oh well, at least he puts me at 5 or 3 or 2.
Yeah, and, definitely.
People get it. That's the thing, though, too, is people are. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say. All right, so you gave me 4 favorites clips.
Even though you asked for 1.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at all of your favorite clips, and we don't have to necessarily look at your top viewed clip, because sometimes it's not even.
Yeah, because that came at the Nick Mertz raid. It wasn't even a good clip. It was just the most recent clip. The raid. It wasn't even a good one.
So let's look at these. Let's see. This first one. I think I opened them in reverse order. So from the top down of what you sent me.
Okay.
This first one is called Freaks Out Over Fortnite. So we can't see your face now.
It's so like classic me.
Oh, I remember this. I think I clipped this. Oh no, Completers clipped this. Okay.
Oh, did he? Like if you have to know anything.
Remember when Completers sounded like a baby? And now he sounds like a man?
Dude, he sounds, do you ever watch like TikTok? What's his name? Corpse? He sounds kind of like Corpse.
Huh. His voice is deeper than me now.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Man,
it's amazing. He's got to be, he must be really tall. I feel like he's like really tall, or he's like barrel chested or something, because how do you get that deep of a voice?
I don't know.
Because he sounded like such a wee lad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it kind of makes me, sometimes I get sad because he was just a sweet little innocent boy, and now he's this deep-throated man, and that sounded weird.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but now he's a big old boy. So this clip, huh?
Okay, so this is actually from, when was this clip? Wait, why doesn't it tell me? Clips by Completers. Seeglass last live 2 days ago.
It was long. It was back, I would say maybe June of last year.
Yeah, this has to be old because there's the flint knock in there, which was, I mean, you were killer with that thing.
That was so
All right,
fun.
let's check this out.
You not look like a porn star in the clip. That was before I knew how to do mustache things.
That's what I get for dancing. 3, 2.
You look like a property brother.
Ah! No, I did it! Ah! He's so mad.
This is literally like the stream in a nutshell.
Can I just say TTV, by the way?
Was he?
Yeah. Watch when the name comes. There it is. I reckon if you look that up, he probably doesn't stream anymore. That was how hard you killed that guy.
Dude,
it was a great shot too.
Clip, and I was like, this one makes sense.
Ah!
Because it's everything. It's like me being a forehead. I was trying to hide in the pyramid. I end up somehow winning, and then I scream and run around.
All right, what is this? Windows are the eyes to the house. This was clipped by Beth.
Oh, this is when. Okay, can I, before you start this, can I?
Yes. Why don't you bring us in?
There needs to be a little bit of context in this. So
okay.
It was like, I don't know, maybe like 2 months. Beth, what was this? This was like last month, early 2 months ago. And Beth and I were just in chat, and we were talking about Macbeth. And I don't know how we got started on this subject, but like if you say Macbeth in a theater, you have to go out. It's like a huge deal. It's a curse or whatever. You have to go outside and you have to like scream and cuss, and you have to be invited back in. And I, in this clip, was referencing how Beth is my Macbeth, and this clip is me getting to that conclusion. So like that's the context of it.
All right.
So that's why I'm doing this.
What if you're my Macbeth? Because look at, dude, your name is in the word Macbeth. So what if your first name? I'm gonna start calling you, dude. Oh, and you love McDonald's? Macbeth? McDonald's? Oh my god, dude, you're Macbeth reincarnated. You might hate this game like you hate Fortnite. I don't hate Fortnite. I just don't enjoy Fortnite.
Wow, and very wise words at the end of the clip as well.
Yeah.
I don't hate Fortnite. Yeah. I just don't enjoy Fortnite.
I just don't enjoy it, and it's so accurate. I like this season though. This season's pretty sick. Oh, this one's rad too. This is when I figured out I killed the TTV guys. It was a 1v2 and I had an MPX. And dude, I lit these guys up. They had no idea where I was at.
Hey, I clipped this clip.
You did?
Dang.
This is a good one.
GG's.
What up with it,
that
dog?
Was the Val guy.
Nope. Yeah. MPX.
He wrapped all the way around.
I did.
Or something.
I did.
Dang.
Dang.
Yeah. Yikes.
We gotta hit this guy with the follow. He was cool.
Big Belly Kelly.
Say my name!
Great.
Oh, that was fantastic. Dude. That's such a good clip. I love how he goes, it's the Val guy. Nope.
GG's.
What up with it, dog?
Because we're having like active commentary.
BX.
He wrapped all the way around.
I did.
He was a cool dude.
I did.
Yeah, he got it bad. That was fun. That was back when I was good at Tarkov. I'm just kind of more of like a meat shield.
All right, and our last favorite clip looks like Mama Glass is in there. What is going on?
I don't know why she's sitting down on the computer, because it's clear we're playing Warzone or Call of Duty or something. I don't remember why we brought her in, but my mom's super goofy and very, very similar to me in like terms of like comedic genius. And this is like, if you have to know anything about my mom, this is my mom in a nutshell. She just makes fun of me.
What up, fella?
And
okay,
she does it in a very classy way.
Actually hurting him. See now, okay.
Put
hands in his water. He pees the bed anyway.
You can't tell people I pee in the bed. A 40-year-old man can pee in the bed.
Plastic sheets are nothing to be ashamed of.
Wow.
Oh my god, your mom is my hero.
Dude, my mom is so funny.
That was brutal. And she just laughs at you the whole time she's doing it.
Like, yeah, what do you want me to say? It's funny. I said, Mom, it's not true. You can't tell people on the internet that this is true. She goes, we'll figure it out. And like, that's so my mom, man.
Oh man.
It's rough. No, she's a goofy ass chick. She's like big into TikTok now. She has her own like TikTok lives and stuff. And part of me wants to like go into her TikTok live and like, kind of goof with her the way she goofs with me. Because sometimes she'll like crawl under. I'm focused. I'm in the game, and she'll like mess with my chair, or she'll like hit my knee or something like that, and it freaks me out. Um, she's a weird ass chick. Yeah, but she's
So
cool.
is that sometimes when you say "damn it, Clark"? Is that actually your mom messing with you?
No, that's my Roomba.
Okay.
That's Clark. He beelines it, because he's in the dining room, and he, for whatever reason, goes straight down this hallway into this room and just decides to hit my chair over and over and over again. So that's my Roomba being an ass.
So Bert, if you could have a reboot, a remake, or a remaster of any game, what would you pick?
You know what? Since we've already touched on it, I would love to see a reboot and a remaster of GoldenEye.
Really?
It's like,
Okay.
yeah, because like now that we've talked about it, like, I loved that game. You got to be super secret. You got to like your watch could do stuff. You had all these really cool things. I would 100% like GoldenEye again. Either GoldenEye, and they've already done the Mario Kart, so that one's out. They've already done that on the Nintendo DS, right? So I would say 100% GoldenEye.
Do you
So you do all
remember?
the cheats?
Yeah. Do you remember when you had too many guns? So instead of trying to cycle through, you would just click your watch and like change because they can't shoot you while you're looking at your watch.
No, I didn't know that.
I would always do it. Like I'd have if you had the like all guns cheat
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
There's way too many, so I would
Yeah.
just click the watch and like scroll through and grab a gun and then like shoot guys and then be like, okay, switch,
Really?
and then
That's
change
so
guns
cool.
and
Yeah,
go
I had
back.
no idea. That's super cool. I used to play with my brother back in the day, and he was like, maybe like, dude, he had been like maybe 4 or 5, and I was like 6 or 7, and I would just dominate him because he was small and had tiny hands. And he would quit, and like we always put the paintball hack on or cheat or whatever, and so you could shoot the wall and it'd be like little paintball marks.
Mhm.
And so I would just walk around and boop, boop, and shoot all the walls and have all the paintball marks everywhere. And dude, I would do that for hours. It would just be me shooting walls. I thought it was so much fun.
I remember
So
that. I
yeah.
would just like draw or like write my
Yeah.
name on the wall.
Yeah, dude. Simpler times.
Goldeneye is a good answer.
It's a great answer. It's good.
Who inspires you the most?
Did they have to be alive?
No. Who
Oh.
inspires you the most? It can be anyone.
Okay. I would
For any
say,
reason.
for sure my grandpa. Just in the simple fact that like he was the most influential in my upbringing. He was the dude who was always like, you know, he was somebody I don't know because I didn't really have a dad growing up, so he was somebody I always looked up to in terms of like, who do I imitate and who do I learn from and things like that. And so he lived really close by, so I'd always ride my bike over there, and he would just tell me cool stories, and you'd always hang out, and I would definitely he would definitely be up there. But in terms of like inspiration and in terms of like kind of just motivation, dude, probably Michael Scott from The Office just gets me every single time because I think the way in which Steve Carell plays that character, you can't not help fall in love with Michael, but you also can't not be extremely upset at him. Like I was watching the episode yesterday when he was doing the gossip with Stanley having the affair, and like you want him, you're like shut up, but at the same time you're like keep going, let's see how this turns out.
Yeah.
And I love that about him, because he thinks he's doing right. He thinks he's in the right in that one, and obviously, everybody else is like, no, don't do that. And I really I respect his dedication to just always being that guy.
That's
It's
awesome.
so much fun. It's so much fun. And he thinks, and that's what's so cool too, is Michael Scott thinks he's the funniest person in the world. And I'm about that too. So yeah, I would say it was super weird, both sides of the spectrum. My grandpa was super, super serious, never joked a day in his life. And it was just like, he was one of those like typical, like, grew up in a hard upbringing, went to the war, stern. And then Michael Scott's like prison Mike, Fat Albert. So I guess between the two, I would say somewhere in between, those are the two that are the most inspirational. And Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson is the man because he has me at Meet Tornado. So
Wonderful.
I would say those three.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
I love that answer. Those multiple answers.
Thanks, man.
I love all the the three inspiring gentlemen in your life.
Yeah, I guess if like because I mean my grandpa's passed, but if you had to know what he was like, he'd be like Ron Swanson, just stern, doesn't joke about anything, but is like secretly the funniest. He was a funny dude.
Very humorous. Moving
Thanks.
on.
Yeah, dude, my grandpa used to like the only time he would laugh was every Thanksgiving and Christmas is because he would come over to our house and watch Big Mama's House, and he thought it was the funniest movie with what's his name, Martin Lawrence. And when he dressed up as like the old grandma lady, he thought it was the funniest movie. He would laugh the whole all hour and a half of that movie, and then he wouldn't laugh for the rest of the year. He would like save it all for that movie, and I don't know why. That and Dodgeball, he loved it when he threw the wrench. I thought it was the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Those I'm locking that in. Those would be mine too.
All right. So, what are you working on right now that you're either really excited about or really proud of?
Sure. Does it have to be about streaming, or does it?
It can be, or it
Okay.
can be because the whole point of this is to get to know the real Bert. So it doesn't just have to be
Oh.
it doesn't just have to be internet stuff. It could be real life stuff.
Okay, cool. Right now on the pipe, I'm really excited. Lately, I've been really, really excited on streaming in terms of like, it's just fun. I think when I first started to, I built up this expectation of what the internet and what people wanted me to be, and because of that, I kind of ran into a lot of character snags in terms of like who I really was, kind of thing. And so lately, I've just been enjoying streaming for myself and enjoying playing games for myself, and that's been really, really rewarding because I feel like it's a lot more refreshing for both me and the people in the audience. Where I used to think that like, oh, I have to be this certain way, I have to play this certain way, I have to, be this kind of personality in order to get viewers or in order to get follows, and that's not the case in any means. And unfortunately, it's taken me so long to figure that out. And now it's more of just like, you know what, I'm gonna play whatever I want to play. I'm gonna laugh at whatever I think is funny. I'm gonna say whatever I enjoy. And I've been really excited to do that and to be that personality, and I guess kind of just stay more true to where I want to be. And another thing I'm looking forward to is now that you know 2020 is finally coming to a close, this dumpster fire of a year, I've got a couple of things in the pipe for my wildlife photography. So I'll be leaving. We've got 3 scheduled dates that I'll be leaving this year. So I'll be overseas, taking photos of animals and ranger training and things like that. So that I'm really, really, really excited for.
Very cool.
Yeah, man, it's definitely, there's no better place in the world than Africa. It's the most magical, awesome place ever. And so I'm really excited about going over there and seeing a bunch of my friends I haven't seen in years, and just hanging out and laughing at each other. I go with my boss, and all we do is we giggle and we laugh at each other. And it's really hard because this trip they're training a bunch of fresh recruits, and he's a very stern, you think of like a drill and sergeant kind of thing. And he mentally and physically breaks down these recruits because when push comes to shove and when they find these poachers, they have to have the skill and the mindset to apprehend them. And so he's got to physically and mentally break them down. And the things he says, you would normally not laugh at. You especially wouldn't laugh at if you're a recruit, but because I've known him for so long, I think they're so funny. And then I'm gonna try really, really hard not to laugh when he says goofy stuff. Like he'll be like, name me 7 different ways to make crawfish, and nobody in Africa knows what a crawfish is. And so they're freaking out trying to figure out what it is, as he's like making them do push-ups or making them run miles. And I just think it's the funniest thing, which probably isn't something you want to admit on the internet. Like watching other people suffer at my enjoyment, but it's it'll be a good time, and I love Africa in February, so I'm really, really excited for that.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm not so much
Thanks,
excited
man.
for us because
Yeah.
as Black Arrow says, sounds fun, but I hate when Bert leaves. It's like 2 weeks
Yeah.
of not knowing what to do during the day.
Unfortunately, I'll be gone for 5 weeks, excuse me, this trip. So I won't be back until probably middle of March. I leave on February, so it'll be a sad time.
It's gonna be a long
But I
time
also-
without Bert.
Yeah, but I also really like it too because you're so disconnected from social media and from the internet and things like that when you come back, it's kind of like internet for the first time again. You're like, I'm really excited to like have internet at any time I want or power anytime I want, and it's kind of a cool reset in
That
terms of
is
like.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
reset. That's and uh, you had kind of touched on it that there's there's burnout and there's like, well, I put
Mhm.
energy into the wrong places, and
Mhm.
I would have to imagine being disconnected for so long, you get refreshed, and it kind of helps you remember what you're supposed to put your energy into when you
Yeah.
come back.
100%. People like freak out, especially like it's so easy to get stuck like in that rat race in terms of like you want things a certain way, or you want things sooner than when they need to, and I think people definitely 100% take it. Um, they take advantage of the things that just come second nature to them. Like you can have power whenever you want. We can literally I can wake up and have Mexican food for breakfast, and then Italian for dinner, and then like a burger for lunch, and you don't get that in most places. And I think people get spoiled on how easy it is here, and it's nice to leave for a little bit and then come back and be like, hey, there's a Starbucks here. Like I can actually have coffee, or I can wash my clothes that I having to go down to the river and things like that. And it's nice to come back and really appreciate what you have. And it's crazy how a lot of people don't appreciate just the simple things that they have, like running water or access to roads and things like that. So it's
We
not it's
do
cool.
live in a pretty on-demand society,
100%.
especially in the States.
And it's crazy too how people want more. There's
Mhm.
there's always one more thing they can have, and instead of being like, you know what, like I'm really thankful I have a roof over my head, and I'm really thankful I have this and that. It's like, no, I could use another boat and things like that.
Can we talk
So
about that for a second, especially when it
yeah.
comes to games? Especially when it comes to games, people are like so excited for something to drop, and then wow, good job, like I clipping through
Mhm.
this wall, or this texture didn't
Mhm.
load. You guys fucked up the whole game. We've been waiting for this for 9 years. Like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, no, you couldn't have said it better. I mean, like, think of Cyberpunk. People were so upset at Cyberpunk, even though it took 9 years to make, that they were issuing refunds for people on last gen consoles. They're like, this is unacceptable, blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, it's a beautiful game. I mean, they did really well. And then it's crazy to think how people are just like, nope, 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 and then rage and Kappa, and it's weird.
I
Weird
mean,
how people do it.
I'm guilty of it too, especially with Tarkov, and I
Mhm.
catch myself once in a while, when it's like, oh, really? Like,
Mhm.
that's how I died because
Mhm.
this server is scuffed, or because of whatever is going on. But
Totally.
they're pushing content out, and it's so easy to break something. I have
Mhm.
never coded anything in my life, and I still know how easy it is to break something with one wrong character somewhere.
For sure.
And then
For
you
sure.
have to go hunting for it through millions of characters to find that one wrong thing.
Mhm.
And
No,
I
totally.
think people don't realize that, and they just like to complain because
Mhm.
we're spoiled. We've been
Yep.
given too much, and we don't care.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty as well. I'm a huge whiner. I complain about everything, especially in Warzone when people kill me, assholes.
Well, I'm excited for you to to go back and do wildlife photography. That's
Mhm.
something that I don't think everyone knows about you.
Yeah.
That I mean, you're basically you're a Nat Geo kind of guy.
Yeah, no, I have a lot. Yeah, I definitely, I don't know. Maybe it's just the simple fact I just don't, I don't know. I never really tell people about it. But it is really cool. And I do have a lot of friends that work for Nat Geo, and it definitely is very Nat Geo like. And I'm so incredibly grateful for the opportunity, because when I went to college, right, I got a degree in broadcasting journalism, and the main thing I did my reports on, like my news segments, was all about marine pollution or wildlife, um, like news stories and things like that. When I graduated, I really tried getting a job in the similar fields, and nobody was hiring anybody for environmental reasons, or like plastic pollution and things like that. And I got really really like, I guess, depressed, because I didn't want to just like get a job in Spokane, Washington, doing news reports about the snow, or like anything goofy like that. And thankfully, I was able to get in with the Global Conservation Force, and now I get to travel the world and do news segments and videos about wildlife, and protecting endangered species and exotic animals and stuff. So that's been really really cool.
That's
Yeah, but
definitely something to be excited about. That's
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, and I
Yeah.
think we're all proud of you because you're
Thanks,
doing
man.
you're doing some good in the world.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a lot of good people out there too. People people are really cool hanging out with other people from. You know what's crazy is how many people know English. Like we're totally spoiled. Um, Everybody, like I've been in like villages where there's no power anywhere near or running water, but people can speak English just fine. I'm like,
That's
oh hey,
wild.
yeah, it's super crazy. I've had no like I mean I've had obviously like a little bit of language barrier, but there's I mean very very few instances where like nobody can speak English. It's usually like a handful of people always.
Well,
Which
what's
is really
wild there
cool.
too is people apologize for how bad their English is, and
Yeah,
I'm like, I
yeah.
only know one language, so you're
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, dude, I was like, yeah, people sometimes won't interview me or with me because they're like, I don't want to embarrass myself because I'm really bad at English. I'm like, dude, you know like 4 languages. Like I can't even speak English and I only know English. Um, so yeah, it's definitely that's a good point. Yeah, you definitely hit it right on the head. People get really nervous and embarrassed. Like, yo, it's relax. English just kind of sucks. You know, through and through. There's a lot of different weird, tricky words. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. I'm gonna go to Nigeria for the first time this year, and I'm excited about that. I'm a little nervous, but it'll be cool.
We've got a lot of good information from you. I mean, there's a
Oh, good.
lot to know about Bert. You're a complex man of mystery, international
Thanks,
man
man.
of mystery.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just excited to one day have a layover in England so I can go make fun of Beth in person.
Oh my God, do you remember? Do you remember that? Because I know that I clipped this of your channel. That commercial where the guy is slapping everyone.
What?
You don't remember this?
No.
Okay, this is worth finding. We're gonna take a second here and find it. If anyone wants to find this later, it's called Bert's Trip to England. I'm sorry it took me so long to find.
No, it's okay. I guess you'll have to VIP me now. I will.
What about it? There's Beth and Jade.
Oh, I remember this.
It's right there. There's Beth and Jade.
I'm about it.
Dude, I laughed the exact
There's
same
Beth
way
and
I did
Jade.
on that video.
Nothing like children being, huh? About it. There's Beth and Jade.
It's so good.
And
so
it is
good.
because they are always in cahoots when whenever there's like not trouble like real trouble, but whenever there's trouble brewing in your chat, it's
Yeah.
always Beth and Jade are being sassy to you, and then
Always.
it's like, really, Jade? And then Beth will be like, don't you yell at Jade. Yeah, thanks, Beth. And it's like they always have each other's back, and then you're just like, I can't win.
Yep. And the worst was now Alex and Scratch are man Beth and Jade.
Oh,
Alex and
no.
Scratch are just as bad as Beth and Jade. They're the dude versions. So now it's 4 different people causing me 4 different kinds of grief. It's the worst.
I mean, hey, at least I'm always on your side.
Yeah, you and Bevo usually have my back. You know, that's the 2 things I can depend on.
I'm surprised because Bevo gets in trouble with them too, and he's like, "Oh, great,
yeah.
Am I in trouble again?" I think
Yeah,
he got
well,
in
Bevo
trouble
gets in
enough
trouble-
times that he's just like, whatever.
He kind of just like, fine. Yeah, Bevo for the longest time he would get in trouble because he would side with me. He'd be like, "Well, you're not wrong, Bert," and Jade would be like, "Shut up, Bevo," and Bevo would be like, "Okay."
It's almost like a family gathering
Oh, 100%.
when we're in chat with you now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's usually just like, well, here it goes. Who's bringing this up again? And it's really fun to see people like pick sides, like go to bat for each other. It's hilarious.
Bert, are you
Yeah,
ready
Alex-
for this?
Yeah.
This is the this or that section.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Is this like quick response?
Yep. This is
Okay.
so I'm not assigning any meaning to. I'm just
Okay.
giving you the words. So
Okay.
your interpretation is how you should choose a side.
Okay.
And you can give reason with it,
Okay.
or not. So it's really up to you. Sometimes this means more to certain people than others. Sometimes
Okay.
it can just be like easy. So
Okay.
answer
Can I
how you
choose
feel.
Either this or that. Do I have to bring context to the answer, or is just
You can if you want.
okay?
So here we go. This or that.
Okay.
Coke or Pepsi?
Neither.
Oh. Rain or snow?
Neither. Wait, this sucks. Hang on. I want to change my answer. Rain or snow? Shit. Rain. Because
Okay.
it's not snow.
Hot or iced?
Hot.
Rich or famous?
Famous.
Okay.
Because you can get through a lot more doors being famous than rich.
You want to
It's
be
like-
famous?
Ain't nobody gonna let Jeff Bezos into a club, but they're gonna let like a TikTok star in for sure.
Okay.
You know, people are like, "Yo, who's this? You know, this Poindexter." People are like, "Yo, dude, nice twerking. Get in here." So
New or old?
I'm old. I gotta stick represent.
All right. Music or podcasts?
Oh, dude, that's shit. Podcast. Two
Okay.
bears, one cave. Represent.
Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
Nickelodeon. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Drake and Josh.
Sweet or savory?
Mm, now, what is a savory?
Savory is
chocolate?
kind of like, no, chocolate would be sweet. Savory would be like bacon or steak or I don't know,
Oh, I was-
a vegan chicken sandwich.
Ooh, oh, dude, I was gonna say you had me until you said vegan chicken sandwich. I'm gonna say the other option because you can only eat so much of those things. You know?
So
you
savory
can
because
only-
you can only eat so much sweets.
Yeah. Well, no, because I can eat, dude. I eat sweets until my stomach hurts. But like, you know, I can't like give breakfast. You know how people order like French toast and bacon. I can't eat bacon and then drink milk, and like or like coffee. It has to be water. For whatever
Hmm.
reason, my palate is just like abort. It's like this tastes like butt. But like separately, they're amazing. So
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm not clear. Sweet or savory?
yes.
Okay. The inclusive or?
Well, what's the other one? Which one's the not bacon?
Sweet.
That one. I'll take that one.
All right. Keyboard or controller?
Keyboard.
Easy. We talked about that already. Tabasco or Cholula?
Dude, Tapatio.
Okay.
One tastes like butthole, and the other one's got this weird ass chick that's not even hot sauce.
Whoa.
You know? Yeah.
Whoa.
I drew that line, and I will fight anybody who says that either are better than Tapatio.
I'll allow it.
Wait,
Tea or
wait, you
coffee?
depends on the time of the day.
Okay. Instagram or Twitter?
Twitter. People are funnier on there. I'm so tired of seeing ads on Instagram.
Mountains or beach?
Oh, the BH.
All right. Train or plane?
Ooh, I've never been on a train, but I hear. Well, I guess. Shit. Hang on, I'm putting too much thought into this. Train. So
Okay.
you can see the ocean.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Cats are just pieces of loneliness.
Now I know. So this one, I know a bit about you, but you can either skip or however you so choose to answer this one. But beer or wine?
Sure. When I did drink, I would say beer. If I was still currently drinking, beer.
Okay. GIF or GIF?
I like saying GIF because it pisses people off, and I'm about watching the world burn.
Okay.
So it's the same like saying like Blue used to do it too. Dude, Blue used to like she used to pour her milk in first and then her cereal to watch her brother's head explode. And then when she would eat pizza, she would eat the pizza from crust first to watch people's like just get really upset at her. And
She
I
has sent me
respect
those
that.
videos.
It's so much fun to piss people off for no reason other than just to simply do it for the gratification of just watching people sweat.
So you encourage it. So
Oh,
that's
it's so much fun. Yeah.
I'm
like-
just glad that she bullies you the most when we play Fortnite because
Dude,
I
so
guess
bad.
you encourage it so you like welcome it from her. So that's fun.
I do to an extent. Like it's funny, and then until she does it to me, I'm like, cut it off, cut it out, Blue, stop it. Like the other day, I felt so bad because she downloaded Warzone, and it took her like 5 or 6 hours to do so, and then she did it, and then she was in the gulag. She was like, hang on, I'm fixing my audio. I'm like, Blue, this is the worst time to do any of this stuff. And I felt kind of bad because I was kind of short with her because we were streaming for like 8 hours, and I was kind of getting hangry. But yeah, dude, she's so funny.
I
yeah,
know
she-
that
she
feel.
does.
I've done that to
Mhm.
Sarah on Tarkov. I try not to be mean to her,
Yeah.
but it's like you
it's
don't
hard.
understand. People are trying to kill you.
This is a life or death situation. Damn it. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely easy to kind of like get a little snappy. So you gotta like, oh, hang on, pump the brakes. Or it's like it's it's like that meme. It's like I'm sorry for what I said when I was hungry.
Yep.
You know, it's exactly it.
Yep. There's
Kick me when I'm down.
I was gonna say hangry is Sarah, but I guess I shouldn't say that now.
Yeah.
Bert, what's the best advice you've ever received? It could be regarding anything. It could be streaming, creating,
Sure.
life advice, or
Sure.
you could give me an example of all three.
Sure. The best one that just comes straight out of the pipe would be from the Ron Swansonator. It would be never half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing.
I like that.
You know,
That's a great
don't-
answer.
it's so good, and it applies
Yeah.
to so many things in life.
It is.
I was
And
thinking
it
about it
does.
this morning. Mm-hmm.
And lastly, we have, I think we have touched on a couple of things that maybe people wouldn't get just from watching your stream, but tell me something about you that
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't know just from watching your stream.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, it could be something that's just really important to you that you want to tell people that doesn't come up organically, or it could be
Okay.
something that none of us have known about yet, something
Okay.
secret and fun.
Ooh, mystery. Other than like, I really like the environment, and I really hate plastic pollution. Horses scare me, and I can't touch cotton balls.
Weird.
Yeah, horses scare the shit out of me, and like everything I do is around horses, and it's so scary.
Is it because of the like the teeth and the lips thing where
Yeah,
the,
dude, everything.
like where it
every
comes
part
up
of the
and then
horse
there's
can
just like
kill
these
you.
every part of the horse can kill you.
You know? Yeah, dude. And it's like, you're right on the back, it throws you off and rolls over. And it's like the front part, they bite off your fingers. The back part, they kill you. You know? It's a murder machine, and people are like, oh, I'm just a horse person. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So you like death. And I don't get it. Horses scare me so bad.
That's wonderful.
You know. So I would say that, and then and then I can't touch cotton balls. But I think I've mentioned that. Because I remember Blue said she was gonna try to send me cotton balls one time. The P.O. box.
Yeah, I knew the cotton balls thing, but
Yeah.
I don't think you've talked about it in a long time.
Yeah, well, it doesn't come. I try not to bring it up in my daily vocabulary. So, try to live a very cotton-free lifestyle.
So, what would you like to end on? What are you have any closing thoughts? Do you want to talk about something else? What do you got for me?
When am I going to see you next? When are we getting another Johnny Dingo Bert reunion?
I don't know, because with COVID going on, I actually haven't traveled for work since I think January was the last time I was down there.
Yeah.
We had like an internal, like huddle up everybody in Southern California, and then really everything locked down because they're the guy who runs the business that I work for. He's a really sharp cat, and we actually aren't held by like an equity firm.
Sure.
So it's all him and his brother, like flat out whatever they say goes. They don't have to answer to anyone else, so they get to run things the way they want. So in January we all met, and they were like, we're not going to be working in the offices come a couple weeks from now because of the coronavirus. It's coming, and we need to be prepped for a huge influx of business to do virtual desktops for people to connect remote. So
Sure.
You're all going to work remote. And that was the last time I saw them, in person. And normally we see them like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a year. And the other part of that is these guys are so cool. They like walk up to me and say my name first and shake my hand. They're like, good to see you again. I'm
That's
like,
cool.
wow, you've got like 200 people working for you, and you like remember the last time you saw me. So whenever it's all safe to be traveling again and to be face to face.
Cool. Yeah, I'd like that soon, because I don't even think we can get up to San Francisco, because I think right now with the cases I think you have to quarantine for 2 weeks, even
Wow.
just for San Francisco, like a city mandated rule, I guess.
Well, and
dang.
that's a huge hub too. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. You know what we should do is someday, like in the near future, we should all take a train. We should do the Caltrans from like Southern California to like Washington.
My uncle actually just retired from driving those trains.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude. You think he'd want to come? He could like
No, he's like he's over it. He's like
okay. It's like, I just
He's
got done driving
retired.
this trans. I'm not gonna do it for fun.
he just started like learning guitar. He's
Yeah.
gotten into photography. He's like
Oh,
doing
cool.
his whole thing.
Cool.
So that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should. I think
That'd be
when
kinda
when it's safe
Yeah.
to go,
Mhm.
I think we should all try to like
Dude.
as many of us as we can.
I was gonna say we should grab a whole bunch of us and do a murder mystery thing, like on the
Oh,
train.
Mafia. We'll just play Mafia. Well, Among Us. We'll play Among Us on the train.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Yeah,
Well, I think that's. I mean, I think this is this is
yeah.
a great closing spot. Are you? Where do we find you? Where do we find you? Because I'm obviously I'll put all the links in the
Sure.
description.
I don't
want
want to mess this up again. I don't want to be like, you find me in Southern California in this room. I'm such a forehead. Yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/Seeglass. You can find me on YouTube, which is Seeglass, just Seeglass, and then Twitter on Seeglass12. Why it's 12, couldn't tell you, but that's what they gave me. So yeah, twitch.tv/Seeglass. You guys stream on Twitch?
There we go.
Sure do.
Do you guys stream on Twitch? So, Bert, what game do you want to play?
I don't know, man. I was thinking about that. I just got all my stuff back in Tarkov.
We could play